In the vast emptiness of space, humanity had always thought they were alone. That was until the day we discovered we were merely a footnote in the Galactic Council's archives, a primitive species deemed too volatile for first contact. Little did they know, being underestimated was humanity's greatest advantage. The transmission came on an ordinary Tuesday morning. Our quantum arrays, designed to detect deep space signals, picked up something unprecedented, a heated debate in the Galactic Council chambers. The aliens weren't discussing making contact. They were arguing about whether to quietly restrict Earth's expansion before we became a problem. Their arrogance was palpable through the translators. I remember sitting in the UN emergency session as Earth's chief diplomat, watching the color drain from faces around the room as we realized the truth. There were over 300 spacefaring civilizations out there, all part of this council, and they'd been watching us for centuries. They'd witnessed our wars, our resilience, our rapid technological advancement, and it terrified them. They planned to contain us, Admiral Chen announced, her voice steady despite the gravity of her words. The council believes we're too unpredictable, too aggressive. They'd want to set up gravitational barriers around our solar system. The room erupted in outrage, but she raised her hand for silence. But they made one crucial mistake. They underestimated our quantum listening capabilities. We've been gathering their technological secrets for months. What followed was the most ambitious unified project in human history. Every nation, every researcher, every brilliant mind on Earth worked together in secret. While the Council debated our fate, we reversed engineered their tech from intercepted transmissions. The same drive that had taken us from horse-drawn carriages to space stations in a century was now focused on a single goal: survival. The Council had given us 2 Earth years to make their decision. They thought we were oblivious, going about our simple lives. Instead, we were building. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, and in hidden facilities across the globe, a fleet took shape. Ships incorporating technology that mixed human ingenuity with reversed engineered alien tech. We created something they'd never seen before, hybrid vessels that combined the best of both worlds. We're not asking for permission to join their council anymore, General Rivera declared during the final briefing. We're going to show them exactly why humanity deserves a seat at the table. The plan was audacious, maybe even crazy, but it was pure human thinking. The kind of strategy that had helped our species survive ice ages and natural disasters. When the Council's containment fleet arrived at the edge of our solar system, expecting to find a helpless primitive world, they instead faced humanity's finest. Our ships emerged from hiding spots throughout the asteroid belt, from behind Mars, and from the dark side of the moon. The look of shock on their alien faces, transmitted across all frequencies, was something I'll never forget. But this isn't just a story about military might or technological achievement. It's about the human spirit, our unwavering determination to forge our own path among the stars. The Council had spent millennia creating a perfectly ordered galaxy, and here we were, the cosmic equivalent of a startup, refusing to play by their ancient rules. As I stand here now, preparing to lead Earth's first official delegation to the Galactic Council chambers, I can't help but smile at how quickly things have changed. The same council that wanted to contain us now faces a choice: adapt to humanity's presence or risk becoming obsolete themselves. Because if there's one thing they've learned, it's that humans don't take kindly to being caged. But the real question remains, are they ready for what comes next? Because this is just the beginning of humanity's rise, and we're done playing by anyone else's rules. The stars are calling, and this time, we're answering on our own terms. The council chambers were nothing like we'd imagined. Instead of the sleek, sterile environment we'd expected, we found ourselves in what looked like a living entity: walls that pulsed with bioluminescent light, floors that adjusted to each species' preferred gravity, and air that somehow catered to everyone's breathing needs. It was both beautiful and unsettling, much like our current situation. Our delegation stood out among the various alien representatives. While they wore ceremonial robes or existed as pure energy forms, we chose to appear in simple black suits, a statement of human pragmatism. The message was clear. We weren't here to impress anyone. We were here to be taken seriously. The council's high speaker, a towering crystalline being, addressed the chamber. The humans have demonstrated capabilities far beyond our projections, they announced, their words translating in our minds. Their response to our containment attempt has forced us to reevaluate our assessment of their species. The chamber hummed with mixed reactions, some of fear, others of grudging respect. What they didn't know was that we'd already established unofficial alliances with several younger spacefaring races who'd faced similar discrimination from the Council. The Centaurians, who developed faster-than-light travel using completely different principles, and the Proxima colony, experts in quantum engineering, have been quietly sharing information with us for months. We weren't just fighting for Earth's freedom. We were leading a movement for change in the galaxy's power structure. Admiral Chen stepped forward to address the chamber, her voice steady and clear. For millennia, the Council has prided itself on maintaining galactic order. But order without progress is stagnation. Earth doesn't seek to disrupt. We seek to innovate. She activated a holographic display showing the hybrid technology we developed. This is what happens when you combine different perspectives instead of suppressing them. The chamber erupted in murmurs as they studied our designs. We created ships that could adapt to various space conditions, weapons that could disable without destroying, and communication systems that worked across dimensional barriers. It was technology born from necessity and creativity, purely human traits that the Council had underestimated. But not everyone was impressed. The Arcturus delegation, one of the oldest Council members, raised objections. These humans speak of innovation, yet their history is filled with conflict. How can we trust them not to spread chaos throughout the galaxy? Their words carried weight. After all, they'd been maintaining peace in their sector for over 10,000 years. What they didn't realize was that we'd anticipated this reaction. General Rivera activated another hologram, this one showing Earth's rapid recovery from various catastrophes, natural disasters, wars, climate crisis. Humanity doesn't just survive chaos, she explained. We learn from it. We adapt. We improve. When have any of your species faced such consistent challenges and emerged stronger? The silence that followed was deafening. We touched upon something they couldn't deny. Their carefully ordered society had never faced the kind of adversity that had forged human resilience. Their peace was built on control, while ours was built on overcoming challenges. But just as the tide seemed to be turning in our favor, warning alarms blared throughout the chamber. The high speaker's crystalline form flickered with urgent patterns. We're detecting massive energy signatures approaching from the galactic core, they announced. Something is coming. Something that doesn't match any known species' signature. I looked at Admiral Chen, and we shared a knowing glance. This was exactly the kind of situation humanity had been preparing for. While the Council had been maintaining their perfect order, we'd been preparing for chaos. As the chamber descended into panic, I couldn't help but think that maybe this was why the universe had allowed humanity to develop in isolation. We were needed for exactly this moment. The energy signatures from the galactic core grew stronger with each passing moment. While Council species scrambled to make sense of the data, Earth's delegation remained unusually calm. We'd seen patterns like these before, in our quantum simulations, in our deep space scans, and in the ancient records we decoded from abandoned space stations at the edge of our solar system. Those aren't ships approaching, I announced to the chamber, my voice cutting through the chaos. They're tears in space-time itself. The holographic displays confirmed my words, showing massive rifts opening across the galaxy, each large enough to swallow entire star systems. The Council's sophisticated sensors were going haywire, unable to process what they were seeing. Admiral Chen quietly activated our own scanning network, a web of quantum-linked satellites we'd secretly positioned throughout Council space during our negotiations. The rifts are following a pattern, she reported, her expression grim. They're not random. They're forming a network, like a web closing in on the galaxy. The high speaker's crystalline form pulsed with urgent patterns. Impossible. Our defenses, our barriers. They began, but General Rivera interrupted. Your defenses were designed to stop ships, energy weapons, even dimensional shifts. But this? She gestured to the displays. This is something older than your Council, older than perhaps our galaxy itself. That's when we revealed what we discovered in those ancient records, the real reason humanity had been kept isolated. Earth wasn't just another developing world, it was a quarantine zone. Millions of years ago, the first galactic civilization had faced a similar threat. Their solution was to create guardian species, civilizations engineered to evolve in specific ways, designed to face this ancient enemy when it returned. We weren't too aggressive for the Council, Admiral Chen explained, her voice echoing through the chamber. We were too prepared. Every war, every disaster, every challenge humanity faced, they weren't random. Our entire history was a training ground, preparing us for this moment. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The proof was in our technology. While the Council had focused on maintaining order, humanity had unknowingly developed exactly what was needed: quantum systems that could detect these rifts, hybrid ships that could withstand temporal distortions, and weapons that could affect cross-dimensional space. We weren't just fighting for our place in the galaxy anymore. We were fighting for its survival. But the enemy wasn't giving us time to prepare. The rifts were expanding faster now, and the first signs of what lay beyond them began to emerge. Strange geometries that hurt to look at, beings that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, forces that defied the laws of physics themselves. The Council's mighty fleets, for all their advanced technology, were useless against these threats. We need to implement the Earth Protocol immediately, I declared, unveiling our plan. It was ambitious, possibly suicidal, but it was the only chance we had. We proposed using Earth's entire network of quantum satellites to create a counterweb, a human-designed defense grid that could match the enemy's pattern and potentially seal the rifts. The catch? It would require every Council species to link their technology with ours, to trust us completely with their most guarded secrets. The same humans they'd planned to contain would now need to be given full access to their systems. The irony wasn't lost on anyone in the chamber. As alarms blared and reports of the first colonies going dark started coming in, the Council faced its moment of truth. Trust the unpredictable humans, or face extinction. The High Speaker's form flickered as they processed the choice before them. And that's when we saw it. Through the largest rift, a glimpse of what we were truly facing and why humanity had been created to fight it. Through the massive rift, we saw not an alien armada or incomprehensible cosmic horrors, but a twisted reflection of ourselves. Hundreds of parallel Earths, each having evolved differently, each having faced the Council in their own way. Some had been destroyed, others had conquered the galaxy, and a few had transcended physical form entirely. The enemy wasn't some ancient force. It was humanity itself, or rather, what humanity could become. The Council chamber erupted in chaos as the truth became clear. We weren't created to fight some external threat. We were created to prevent ourselves from becoming the threat. Each parallel Earth was attempting to collapse all realities into one, their own version of the perfect universe. The rifts weren't an attack. They were the result of countless human civilizations trying to fix existence itself. Admiral Chen's quantum scanners revealed something even more disturbing. These parallel Earths weren't just fighting the Council. They were fighting each other. Each believed their version of humanity was the one that should survive. We watched as advanced human fleets from different realities clashed in spectacular battles, their technologies far beyond anything our Earth had achieved. "This is why you isolated us," I said to the High Speaker, understanding flooding through me. You weren't containing a threat. You were protecting the one version of humanity that chose a different path. The crystalline beings glow-pulsed in confirmation. Our Earth, despite all its flaws and struggles, was the only one that had developed alongside a desire for cooperation rather than dominance. General Rivera's voice cut through the chamber. Our satellite network, it's not just for defense. The quantum web we created, it's the only thing connecting all these realities together. She brought up a new holographic display, showing how our technology had unknowingly created bridges between the parallel worlds. We hadn't just built a defense system. We built the only means of communication between all versions of humanity. That's when we received the first transmission from another Earth, one that had already conquered their version of the Council. Their message was simple. join us or cease to exist. Their humanity had achieved immortality, perfect order, and complete control over their reality. They believed they were saving the universe by unifying it under their rule. But we saw something they didn't. In their pursuit of perfection, these other Earths had lost what made humanity special: our ability to learn from our mistakes, to grow through adversity, to find strength in our differences. Their version of perfection was just another form of stagnation, the very thing we had accused the Council of. Admiral Chen stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the holographic display of battling human fleets. "We don't need to fight ourselves," she declared. "We need to show them what we've learned." She revealed the final part of Earth's protocol. We weren't going to try to stop the other Earths or seal the rifts. Instead, we were going to do something uniquely human. We were going to talk to ourselves. The Council watched in astonishment as we activated our quantum network, but not as a weapon. Instead, we began broadcasting everything: our mistakes, our triumphs, our art, our music, our endless capacity for both destruction and creation. We showed them what their pursuit of perfection had cost them, what they'd forgotten about being human. But as our message reached across the dimensional barriers, something unexpected happened. The rifts began to pulse with new energy, and our sensors detected a massive power surge building up across all realities. We had minutes, maybe seconds, before every version of Earth would have to make a choice that would determine not just humanity's fate, but the fate of all possible universes. The High Speaker turned to us, their crystalline form resonating with an emotion we'd never seen before: hope. "Your Earth must lead," they said. "Show us what humanity can truly become." As the chamber filled with blinding light from the converging realities, we prepared to face our greatest challenge: not an enemy fleet or cosmic horror, but ourselves. The blinding light from the converging realities filled the council chamber, and in that moment, something extraordinary happened. Our quantum network, designed to connect different dimensions, began resonating with the collective consciousness of every version of humanity. We weren't just communicating anymore. We were experiencing each other's histories, feelings, and choices simultaneously. Through this connection, we saw the moment each Earth diverged from our path. We felt their pain, their triumphs, their reasons for choosing dominance over cooperation. Some had faced extinction-level events that hardened them. Others had discovered technologies too early, leading them down paths of unchecked ambition. Each version of humanity had been shaped by their circumstances, just as we had been shaped by ours. Admiral Chen's voice cut through the quantum resonance. "We don't need to unify the realities. We need to link them." Her words carried across dimensions as she initiated a modified version of the Earth Protocol. Instead of trying to seal the rifts or fight our alternate selves, we proposed something unprecedented: a network of permanent quantum bridges between realities, allowing different versions of humanity to learn from each other while maintaining their unique paths. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Countless versions of Earth, seeing through our eyes the value of diversity and cooperation, began adapting their technologies to support the bridge network. Even those who had sought to dominate recognized something they'd lost in their pursuit of perfection: the fundamental human drive to connect, to understand, to grow through sharing experiences. But as the quantum bridges stabilized, our sensors detected something that none of our simulations had predicted. The act of connecting these realities wasn't just creating a network. It was giving birth to something entirely new. The space between dimensions, what we had thought was empty void, was actually teeming with potential. We hadn't just built bridges. We created a new layer of existence, one where all versions of humanity could interact without losing their individuality. The Council watched in awe as this new space took shape, its physics defining themselves based on the combined knowledge and experiences of every Earth. "This," General Rivera announced, "is humanity's true gift to the galaxy. Not conquest, not perfection, but endless possibility." Yet in this moment of triumph, our instruments detected an anomaly. One reality remained isolated, refusing to join the network. It was the first Earth, the original timeline from which all others had branched. Through our quantum links, we received a single message from them: some doors should remain closed. Before we could process what this meant, the high speaker's crystalline form began resonating at frequencies we'd never seen before. The first Earth, they explained, guards the original sequence of events that led to humanity's creation. If their timeline connects with the others, the very purpose of human existence might be altered. We faced our final choice: complete the network and risk changing the fundamental nature of humanity, or leave the original timeline isolated and preserve the mystery of our creation. In true human fashion, we chose neither option. Instead, we modified the quantum bridges one last time, creating a one-way connection. The first Earth could observe but not be observed, influence but not be influenced. As the network stabilized, something unexpected appeared in every connected reality, a simple message written in the quantum fabric itself. To those who seek us, know that humanity was not created. We evolved, and we will continue to evolve in every reality, in every possible way. This is not our end. This is our beginning. The council chamber fell silent as the implications became clear. We hadn't just saved humanity or the galaxy. We discovered our true purpose. Earth wasn't quarantined to protect the galaxy from us. It was preserved to ensure that somewhere, in at least one reality, humanity would remember its most important lesson. The strongest bridges are built between differences, not similarities. In the days that followed, the council underwent its most significant transformation in millennia. The chamber, once a place of rigid order and protocol, became a hub for cross-dimensional cooperation. Representatives from various Earths would gather here, each bringing unique perspectives and solutions to galactic challenges. The Quantum Bridge Network, now stable and secure, hummed with constant exchanges of knowledge, art, and ideas. Admiral Chen led the initiative to create what we called the Humanity Archive, a vast database collecting the experiences and histories of every connected Earth. Through it, we learned of incredible technologies, devastating wars that never happened in our timeline, and beautiful achievements we hadn't yet dreamed of. But more importantly, we learned from each other's mistakes, ensuring that no version of humanity would have to repeat the errors of another. The first Earth, though remaining separate, sent us periodic messages through the one-way quantum link. They spoke of watching our progress with pride, of seeing their descendants grow in ways they never imagined. Their isolation, we came to understand, wasn't about secrecy or fear. It was about preserving the pure potential that existed in humanity's original timeline. General Rivera established the Inter-Reality Defense Network, not to fight wars, but to prevent them. When one reality faced a crisis, others could now offer aid and expertise without interfering directly. We learned that true strength didn't come from having the most powerful weapons or the most advanced technology. It came from having the most connections, the most perspectives to draw upon. The High Speaker, in their final address before stepping down, admitted something that shocked the Council. We thought we were containing humanity, but we were actually containing ourselves. Our fear of chaos, of change, had become our greatest weakness. Humanity taught us that true order comes not from control, but from understanding. As I stand here now, looking out at Earth through the Quantum Observatory, I can see reflections of other Earths overlapping with our own, some more advanced, others following different paths entirely. But they're all connected, all part of a greater whole that we're only beginning to understand. The rifts that once threatened to tear reality apart have become windows into endless possibility. The Council still exists, but now it serves as a facilitator rather than a controller. Different versions of humanity have taken seats alongside alien species, each contributing to a new form of galactic civilization, one built on the principle that diversity isn't just to be tolerated, but celebrated as the source of our greatest strengths. Perhaps the most profound change has been in how we view ourselves. We no longer see Earth as a single point in space and time, but as a constellation of possibilities, each one valuable, each one necessary. The question is no longer about which version of humanity is right, but how all versions can work together to create something greater than any of us could achieve alone. As for me, I've accepted a new role as the first Inter-Reality Ambassador. Tomorrow, I'll begin my tour of different Earths, sharing our story and learning theirs. The council chambers that once planned our containment will serve as my starting point. a reminder of how far we've come and how far we have yet to go. Because that's the thing about humanity. In any reality, in any timeline, we never stop moving forward. We never stop reaching for the stars, asking questions, seeking connections. And now, with infinite versions of ourselves to learn from, our potential truly has no limits. The message from the first Earth was right. This isn't our end. This isn't even our beginning. This is just another step in humanity's endless journey, not to conquer the stars, but to understand them, and in doing so, to better understand ourselves.